The increasing number of children who are going missing is a cause for concern for the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the CPFSA. It should be a concern to us all. Here to tell us some of the reasons why children run away is Deputy Registrar Warren Thompson. Good morning, Warren.
Good morning,
Welcome to
Dina.
Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Thank you.
First of all, how prevalent is it in Jamaica when children go missing and we realize that it's because they have run away from home?
Right, so we don't always know that they actually run away from home.
Okay.
But by the number of voluntary returns, we know that the majority of children reported missing are children who actually do run away. So they go voluntarily and then they return home. So we have about 90% return/recovery rate. So 9 out of every child who goes tends to come back.
Tends to come back. What are some of the reasons that you've because I know when they come back, you interview them, you speak to the parents and the community. What are some of the reasons that you found why our children keep running away from home?
Right. Well, before I tell you why, just to say that the majority of runaways are actually children between 14 and 17, and the majority tend to be girls.
Wow.
So they run away for various reasons. One, often conflicts in the home. So many experience some form of disagreement with parents and they choose to go. Second, some experience abuse, rejection, and for that they decide to go. Sometimes they go for a short period or sometimes go with the intention of not returning home. And then there are those who do go because they are living in a, let's say, an uncomfortable situation. So I can recall one particular case where the child left, and this was a male child incidentally, who left because the mother had brought in another consort, and the consort was close in age to the child because he was an older teenager. And the child did not want to be in that kind of situation.
Very awkward for him.
Right, and decided to go.
How often are they coerced into running away? Like people telling them, listen, I have a better thing for you. Come and stay with me.
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't have the data to tell you that.
Okay.
But what I can say is...
But it happens,
yes, and very often by peers, So we have cases of children who, they leave home and they go with friends. They stay at their friend's house, which is why we encourage adults, don't harbor a child. If you know that this child has come, you don't know who the parents are, you don't know why they have come to stay with your child, try to do some investigation, make the calls, find out who this person is. We had one case recently where the child was actually living in the home with a boyfriend. And the mother was there, the boy's mother was there, harboring, that child. But then later on, somehow found sense and reached out to say, this child has been with me. Right. So we do have those cases. So we encourage adults, if this child your child brings another child home with you, talk with that child, find who the parent is, get some contact information, and reach out to that parent.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
One of the things I'm thinking, well, let me ask it this way. You urge parents, when the children run away, if they return home, not to be violent towards the child. Don't beat the child, don't cuss the child, don't berate the child. What should be the approach?
So start by having a conversation with the child. Because children, we don't believe that children run away from, good and healthy and nurturing environments. Marcus, some will go, but then they will return home. So find out, what do I need to do as a parent to keep you home? And I also want you to understand the impact that your going has on me. When I don't know where you are, I am out of my mind because I love you, I care about you, and I want the best for you. Start by having that conversation. And of course, if there is a logical consequence for the child's running away, then certainly the child will have to face that,
Warren, I want to introduce to this conversation, how does the community play a part? Because I'm thinking, if the reason the child ran away in the first place is because of conflict, is because probably they cannot have these types of discussions or the parent is not emotionally equipped
Right.
to deal with the matter in the way you're saying,
Right.
how does the community intervene?
Well,
Should the community
yes.
intervene? Because if you know that this child is living in this house and that's why them run away, then come back. Should you say, look, now lick the picnic man, because that's why I'm running. Should you intervene?
Well, yeah, I would say yes. You know,
Okay.
we have to be our brother's keeper. And the truth is, many parents, you know, we get thrown into parenting and we don't necessarily how to go about doing it. You know, so many children are beaten
Yeah.
because that's all the parents know.
Right.
They don't know what other alternative forms of discipline can be used. And then the other thing too, I should tell you, one of the reasons why children go is because they want freedom. So many of them don't, the parents are very strict, and the children find running away, even for a short period of time, as an opportunity to experience some kind of freedom or escape.
Right.
Right? So start by building a relationship. And, you know, neighbors, church sisters and brothers, all have a part to play in saying, listen, man, maybe you can do this a different way. Start by talking. If you don't know how to talk, you know, just ask a question. I remember when I was growing up, you know, there were some things that my mother couldn't do or didn't understand how to go about doing.
Right.
And I remember there was one issue, and she asked the teacher at school. She asked the teacher, how do I have this conversation?
With
And the
him.
teacher gave her advice. And then my mother came and she had the conversation with me. Probably not in the best way, you know, but she tried.
But at least she had it.
Yes, she tried.
At
Yes,
least
and she
had
did it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, we have to wrap up. But for children who are watching and parents who are watching, what advice would you give to the children
Right.
who are thinking about this morning, I'm going to exercise my freedom and I'm leaving? What would you say to them?
Well, think about how more vulnerable you become when you go out. You're away from parents, you're away from family. You probably think that you're safe with friends. But then our experience show that many children who run away tend to experience some other form of abuse. They're abused by adults and sometimes by their very peers. You know, so staying at home is the best option for now.
Yes.
You know, and I would say if you're going through something, even if you don't know what the consequence of your sharing might be, start by sharing it with your parents. Start. You know, so they'll respond. Maybe they won't respond, but at least they'll think about it.
They'll think about
Yes.
it. I did say last question before Clive beats me. The Ananda alert is important
Yes.
because this is how we get everybody activated when a child goes missing. I just want, before you go, to just reinforce to the viewers, how does one get the Ananda alert activated? What are the steps that you take?
So as soon as you are unable to see where your child is, don't wait. Go straight to the police station.
It doesn't need 24
No,
hours.
you don't need to wait 24 hours. Go to the police station and make a report. And please take a picture, take a photograph of the child, a very recent photograph, give to the police so that we can issue the Ananda alert. And there are some things that are done when the Ananda alert is issued. So for example, one, we disseminate the releases, we start looking around for your child, and we're exploring various means of getting the information out there. We have a partnership with Facebook for abduction cases. We have partnerships with various state entities. The child's information is placed on a sort of a watch list so that child cannot pass through any of our ports of exit or entry. We do a number of things, and we are looking out for that child. So don't delay.
Yeah.
Right, and we have seen many cases where parents delay. You know, so the child is being reported missing a week after going. Report it right away so that we can take the necessary steps to take that child or to get that child to come back home.
Great. And we want all our children to get home and get home safely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Warren Thompson, Deputy Registrar at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. After the break, online exercise programs. Stay with us.